Good evening, children. So, in the last class, we discussed about unpacking gender. That is, the division between male and female, or men and women, that we have, or that can be seen in the society, is being brought about because of different factors. And those factors are not natural, because when it comes to biological differences, there is not much between men and women. Still, there is a huge gap. What work or what role will male and female perform? That is, like we discussed about, community expectation is one factor, family expectation, society expectation. So these are some reasons why the gender roles are there in our society. The society has created it, and we have to break this barrier and come out of it. That's what we discussed in the previous chapter. Now, in this chapter, there is economic aspects of gender division. The new chapter will discuss. So, what we shall learn in this chapter is about gender division of labor, that is work, within the family, and in fact outside the family. Then we'll also discuss about the value of women's work in and outside the family also, and we'll also discuss about that the work that women do is somewhat invisible. We do not see that, whereas they do much work. Sometimes they do much work than the counterpart, that is male, but still the work cannot is not being seen. So all these things we'll discuss in this chapter. Now the first thing is gender division of labor within the family. Now if you look around, that in a family, what kind of work a man and or a woman will do is completely different. In agricultural societies, jobs still demand hard labor, where strength is required. And that's why most of the work that is related with agriculture, even in the primitive society, used to be done by men. But in tribal areas or in rural areas, the work is now equally divided. Both men and women equally, they do the work that requires strength or manual labor. But if you look into the industrialized society, where works are done by machines, now in spite of work at today, most of the work which are being done by machine, in spite of that, we still see that there is a division of labor, and this is a very old fashion. It has been there in the primitive age, in the medieval period, and in fact even in the modern period. Like the household chores, washing the dishes, cooking the food in the kitchen, cleaning the house, taking care of children, all this work are said to be done by women, and in fact the society believes that this work has to be done by women. Man don't like to do this work at home, like washing the dishes or cooking the food or looking after children. But the same men, when they work outside, now there are many men who work in hotels or in restaurants as a cook or as a cleaner. There they will do the work, because in hotels or in restaurant, men are being paid. They get paid for the work they do. So that's why there they feel pride, or they take pride in doing those work, cooking the food for customers or cleaning the table and all. But the same man at home will not do that, because he feels shy, or he might think, that the society will look down upon him, and that's the reason why men don't do such work at home. But while doing the same work outside the home, they take pride. And such kind of thinking still prevails in the society. That's why most men still do not help or help their wife in kitchen. But this stereotype thinking has to be broken. And today most men, especially in the urban society, they equally work with their wife in the kitchen, wash clothes, do the dishes, and that's what it should be. So it's all in the head. It's whatever we do, or this changes has to be brought about by us, because it's there in our mind, and that's what we think. That's how the society has been, and that's how it should be. People think in that way. No, but no, we have to break this barrier and move out or come out of those old thinking where men has to do particular work and women has to do a kind of particular work. This should be not there. This differences should not be there. Now same applies for even small children. Now in a family, looking after a small brother or helping the mother in the kitchen, the work is assigned to the girls, even if the girl is younger or smaller. But if the boy is elder or bigger, still he will not do all those work. So only boys are sent to school in some societies, especially in the poor families, where boys are sent to school and girls are supposed to stay back at home and help mother in the household chores. Or even if both the parents go out in the field to work, then the responsibility of looking after the younger siblings is on the girl, irrespective of what age she is. Even she is young, that she could not look after her brother or something, still she has to look. Whereas boys, they have to go to school or they are sent to school. So the way jobs in the family are being performed today is so different from that in primitive society. Now if you look around, modern homes have number of machines. So because of that, the manual labor, things that has to be once were done by hand, is now we do it with machine. Cleaning the house, now we have vacuum cleaner. Or even mopping the floor, we have mops. We don't do with hands and all. But still, though modern machines have taken the place, yet the work are still divided. Mopping the floor, sweeping, vacuuming and all still are being done by women. Another example is that now stitching, if suppose a button is torn out and then stitching the button, it does not require any kind of rocket science there. It's very simple. But yet, at home, a male or a man will not stitch his own button. He will ask his wife or the daughter to stitch. But whereas if you look into the fashion industry, most of the stitching work is done by men. The tailoring work in industry, in film industry or in TV industry, most of the fashion designer, they are men. Now we think that this division of work exists only in rural society, where women or the girls will do the work that are involved. Yeah, so still in the primitive agricultural society or rural society, where still the division of work is being divided, where men are supposed to do all the outdoor works and all the indoor works at home are supposed to be done by women. But this gender division also exists in society, where both men and women go out to work, or even in a highly educated society, even this gender division exists. For example, you say if the car breaks down, so to take the car to the mechanic is the responsible of the men. Even if the women knows how to drive, the women will not take the car to the mechanic, but it will be taken by the men. Same thing, if in a house a fuse is being blown out, so the work will not be done by women. The women will ask the husband or any other male electrician to come up and then fix the fuse, though they know that it's a small fuse, just how to fix it, yet they will not do it. So it will thus be seen that gender division in the family are mostly based on traditional than biological difference. That what we have discussed in the previous class. So all this division in the society that we have between these two gender, male and female, it's not because of biological differences, but a tradition, an age-old tradition that has been going on and may still go on in the further. So it's further in the future. So it's you, I, we, the modern, like we, the people, like we have to break this chain. We have to bring about this change by ourselves. We cannot let this go on and on. Otherwise, 30, 40 years from now, same thing will be taught to children and same thing will be reading. But in practical, we may not follow. So it's time now. We have to follow it practically. Now, the amount of work a woman does back at home, sitting back at home, is so much, from getting up early in the morning, making breakfast, then preparing the children for school, and after that washing the clothes and the left out dishes, again making lunch, doing all the household chores from cleaning to mopping, then again after having lunch, cleaning the dishes, washing. And this thing she does every day, right? But she's not being paid for that. And her work is completely invisible. So when it comes to work, what we say, Papa does so much work because Papa goes out in the office and does work. So that work is seen. But the same work that Mama does, a woman does at home, is being ignored. Or it's just like we take it for granted. Yes, it's a woman work to do. No, it's not a woman work that she has to do at home. We should not take these things for granted. Now, invisibility of women's labor. Now, before that, I think you have heard the word called national income. That is the sum total of earning of all men and women of a country is known as national income. So, if a woman works at your house as a maid, then she is being paid. So her income would be count towards the national income. So, and if that same maid gets married to the man who has employed her, what will happen? She will be still doing the same work that she was doing earlier, but now she will not be paid for that. So what will happen? The national income will go down. I know it sounds funny, but that's how it works. So here, if you see many shops in our country, we see many shops where wife helps the husband in the shops. I think you have also seen that. But in return, the husband does not pay the wife. As she doesn't get any salary for working in the shop of her husband. But this thing doesn't happen in foreign countries or in Western society. So a woman who works on the husband's shop will get salary just like any other worker in Western society. But such thing does not exist in our society. So the national income also gets lower in our society. And those countries where women are being paid, even if she is a husband or a daughter or a sister of someone, if she works, she gets paid. And that's why the national income of those countries are higher compared to our country. So we can say that this gender inequality is one of the major problems in the whole world. And we have to overcome this because the society that we live in is said that it's a patriarchal society, that is male dominant society, whereas it shouldn't be like that, because there should be no prejudice or dislike for the opposite gender. Now, for example, if I just give an example of your class, if in the class we have a girl monitor and no boy monitor, then what will happen? The boys will not love to take order from the girl because that's there in their mind. No, why will a girl give us order to do this and that? Because that's how things has been going on. A patriarchal society where male believes that they are the one to take all kind of decision, but that's wrong. So such prejudice or such thinking from the society to get over will take time. And with the expansion of education, the more and more people are educated and more opportunities are given with the time, the society will become a better place where there will be no differences between the gender, that is male and female, and there will be equality. Because we have seen in the past that when given a chance, a woman can prove and have proved themselves as compared to men. We had female president, we had female prime minister, or big offices. The CEOs are also being held by the CEO position also being held by women. But the society that we live in has still a long way to go where we will accept this gender equality. It will take time, but one day for sure we will overcome this and there will be no gender inequality in the society, and everyone, both male and female, would be considered equal. Though we talk about that, but yet still practically we don't see that. And it's you, every one of you, along with me and the society, we have to change this and bring about gender gender equality in the society. So that's all for this chapter. Second term course is over. Thank you.